My name is Courteney Cox, and I play Gale Weathers in this new version of Scream. When Scream came out, it was just such a unique film. The horror genre had it felt like it had been played out a little bit, and all of a sudden Kevin Williamson writes this script where he, poked fun at other horror films, and there was a lot of humor in it, and it was so scary. And I just think it was a big part of pop culture. So I think that first Scream will, I think, be around forever and ever and ever and be always looked up to and looked back at as one of the great ones. I've done 4 Screams with Wes Craven, who's this incredible man. And after seeing Matt and Tyler's work and hearing great things about them, I was like, oh, wow, what a perfect way to reinvent this movie. And when I read it, it was so much in the vein of the first Scream. Knowing that Matt and Tyler were directing this, and after seeing their film, they're just incredible, and they really know how to balance humor and horror. And reading the script, it was so similar in tone to the first one. I got really excited. It's really scary, and it's funny, and it's unique. When I read it, I was like, oh. I like when Gale is really cutting and competitive, so that was my only note, just to make sure we keep her that way, because there's a lot of emotions in this film, and a lot of heightened emotions, and things have changed. Like Gale, she's moved to New York, she works on a morning show, she's become more successful and more sophisticated, and she's no longer with Dewey. Wes is such an incredible man, and it's like, I don't know, for some reason, it always makes me emotional because he's so sweet. Anyway, he is an incredible director, but he's also an incredible human. And he is, it was literally life-changing for me in so many ways. But like silly memories that I have, I remember the first time that I had to really scream. I don't know if I had been stabbed or a gun, been shot. I don't remember, but I just remember saying, well, Wes, what happens? Like, you've directed so many horror films. What happens? Like, how do you do that? What does it feel like when he's like, Courtney, I don't know, it's never happened to me. I was like, all right, thanks. That was it. Like, he had such a great sense of humor. And the last Scream, I remember we got really like slap happy on the set. Something made him laugh, and I had this video of him. I was filming him. He got the giggles. And to see Wes Craven, you always think of him as like the king of horror. He is so silly. He couldn't stop laughing, couldn't stop. And you'd see him just kind of try to not break, and be like, and he wouldn't stop. And he's just so cute. He's just the sweetest man. He was silly, he was serious, he was loving, he was caring. He was almost like a father figure in so many ways. He would sit and just like share his wisdom, but he'd also love to go out and have a glass of wine and be silly. He was just an incredible person and director. As far as Scream goes, he was great at balancing the humor and the horror, but there was something about the way he would film. You would always see him leading up to something. You're like scared before you were scared. It's just the way he would do certain camera angles, or you'd see him focus on something that you're like, oh, what's going to happen there? Why are we focusing on that? And then you'd be scared by something else. So he'd throw you off by his visual things, or lead you into it. He had a great visual style. I want them to see this incredible cast. I want them to laugh, to have the same kind of interesting callbacks. I want them they're going to experience a movie that's very similar to the first one. It's scarier, probably. It's what was 25 years ago? So it's up to date in a different way. Even though Scream will always be classic, this is just like an updated, cool, hip, scary, funny movie. This movie should be seen with an audience because, when you're afraid of something and, when you're screaming, it's even scarier when you're in a theater with 250 people and everyone's screaming.